All right, let's rock and roll here. So today I want to talk about like maybe 4 or 5 traits of a mental tough person. So we're talking mental toughness today. I know it's midday inspiration, but we're still talking mental toughness today because hopefully this mental toughness will inspire you to go and do some things, or to pick up on some projects that you left out on, or some things that you really want to work on. So, and I wrote these down just a few minutes ago, and see if we can get to all of them. I hope we can. Maybe not, but and these are no particular order. But I started off with mental toughness. One of the bullet points under mental toughness and a trait of a mental tough person is continue to challenge yourself. Mental tough people continue to challenge themselves all the time. They're always working on a new skill. They're always working on something new that they can grow from, something that's gonna make them, put some time and effort into, because once they win in something, they're always looking to win again somewhere else. And so they don't mind putting the time in to do it. So it might be a new skill that they're learning. It might be a project that somebody, said, I need you to work on this with me or something. And so they're ready to go. And they're always challenging themselves. You're a mountain climber. You want to climb a different mountain now. If you are a businessman, you want to, if you won salesman of the month this month, you want to win it next month, and you challenge yourself to win it again. You never kind of just sitting back on my morals saying, I'm good. Mentally tough people don't do that. They're always looking for a new challenge. They're always looking for something to strengthen themselves. They're always looking for something, and it never ever stops. And some people can't deal with that because they think, man, okay, you just won this. They have just developed themselves to always challenge themselves. And so a lot of times it might not be about the money. A lot of things are about money because we live in a capitalistic society. So a lot of things are about money, but sometimes it's not. It's just about that toughness you have developed mentally and physically that makes you want to get up every day and go for it. It makes you want to always have a target that you're shooting for. A mentally tough person might not come out and say it like some people do. They come out and they're bragging about what they're going to do. And hey, that's fine. If you're a braggadocious person, be a braggadocious person. But some mentally tough people are not bragging. They're not talking about what they're going to do next, but they're grinding behind the scenes. And they're talking to themselves about what they're going to do next. Mentally tough people, they have certain affirmations that they're always saying to themselves. They might not say it to the world. They might not say it to even some partners because they don't know who's in competition with them. Because you really don't know that. You might think somebody is with you, but they really in competition with you, and you don't know that. So mentally tough people kind of just, I'm not saying all, because some are braggadocious. Some like to talk about what they're doing. They want to put it out there. But there's a lot of them that they don't really talk about it. They just, how you see somebody that, everybody standing around talking and somebody gets the mouthing off. And the guy who's saying nothing, he's saying absolutely nothing. And the mouther walks up to him and gets lights punched out. That ain't the person you want to be fooling with. That ain't the person you want. But he's standing there cool. He ain't, he letting you talk and talk and talk. He might even be smaller than you. But if you get in his face, then see, you have mentally tough people like that. They kind of, hey, oh, that's what we doing next? Okay. Now they at home, writing down the affirmations they're going to say. They're at home putting together a plan that they're going to do. They're doing all this stuff behind the scenes because they want to win. They just want to win. Another trait that I wrote down is mentally tough people truly never quit. They never quit on a project. They never quit on something like that unless they got in over their head. Sometimes they had to realize I got to cut my losses here because, you know, got in over my head. I got in doing something that I shouldn't have been doing, or I shouldn't have made that decision to do it. But normally mentally tough people don't even make that decision. They know what they can do and what they can't do. But sometimes you get in over your head and you realize I got to cut my losses here. This is not where I'm supposed to be, and this is not where I'm going. But the ones who strictly go on things that they know they want to do, they know they can do, they don't quit. Quitting to a mentally tough person would be like dying to them. That's like death. That's like, because they don't believe in giving up. They'll rather die, but they would rather die than to give up. They just don't believe in it. See you, Ms. Austin, Minnesota. But they don't believe in just giving up. They, just let me die, because I'm not gonna give up. It's just a fight that's inside of them when they do that. When you think of quitting to a mentally tough person, that's like the ultimate failure. That's like the ultimate failure. We're going to scratch, claw, and go for it until the end. That's how a mentally tough person says, look, hey, it ain't over. They're not giving up. Quitting is something that is not even, on their mind. They don't even think about it. It's like, okay, we just got to grind it out. Let's go make it happen. And those, you see people like that all the time. And a lot of times you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what they're doing and how they're doing. Mentally tough people could be a mother that's raising 2 or 3 kids on her own, and she's fighting to make sure those kids get the food they need, make sure those kids are going to school, getting their education, making sure, and she's doing all that, on a salary or maybe 2 different jobs she's working. You have to be mentally strong to do that, to say to yourself, we're going to make this happen. You see that a lot of times with some of the athletes who become wealthy. They'll come back and say, my mom was with me the whole time, or my dad. They worked 2 or 3 jobs to help take care of me because they were mentally strong. They were like, I'm not going to get defeated. So it doesn't have to be, famous stars or famous athletes. Like I said, it could be a mother. It could be a grandmother. It could be a grandfather. It could be a father. Have to be mentally strong because he's not giving up on his kids. But my trait that I put down is that they never quit. Never, ever quit. It'll be like dying to them. They don't do it. Another thing that mentally tough people do is that they learn to live in discomfort. Learn to live in discomfort. It's like some people can't do certain things unless they're comfortable. Well, they know that they got to get out of this situation. So it's going to be they're going to be uncomfortable for a while, but they learn to live with it and deal with it. What's going on? It's part of their plan. They already know that okay, I'm gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be some discomforts out here for me to do, but I gotta keep doing it. Some people can only do it when they're comfortable. They can only do it when they, I remember my dad told me one day, I was like, Dad, we riding in this car and you've been riding in it for a minute. And there's no air conditioning here. I said, it's hot. I'm like, oh, boy, that's rough in the summertime in the South. If you ride in a car with no air conditioning. He said, I plan on getting it fixed. But he said, but don't you like the home you living in? I said, yeah. Don't you like them clothes you have on? I said, yeah. He said, well, and don't you like going on trips I send you on? I said, yeah. He said, well, this little discomfort for a while of me not fixing my air condition, I'd rather have that. I'd rather have you have the things that I just talked about than, I ride in this heat for a while. And at that time, I didn't realize how important that was and how powerful that was, but I go back and think about it now, man, that car was hot. But he figured out how to work it. He would get in there early in the morning, he was a school teacher, get over to school. Now in the evening times, it caught him coming back home. He would go out there and let the windows down before he get in the car. And did that for a minute before he got the air conditioning fixed. But he had priorities and he was like, no, I can deal with this. And mentally tough people know how to deal with being uncomfortable for a minute to eventually be comfortable. But watch this. When a mentally tough person goes from being uncomfortable to comfortable, guess what? They go back and get uncomfortable again. They go back and try something that's tough. They go back and start doing things that most people won't do. They get back in that uncomfortable zone because that's how they live. They know that most people ain't gonna do that. And that's how they win. They get back in the uncomfortable zone again. Get back in this uncomfortable zone again. Get back in the uncomfortable zone again. If you're mentally strong and you're mentally tough and you know that that's how winners win, is doing things that most people won't do. I got right here on my lamp that says mental toughness, and I got the definition of it, in my opinion, is not wanting to do it, but do it anyway. Not wanting to do it, but do it anyway. Because there's a lot of things that we don't want to do, but the mentally tough people do it anyway. And they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and they keep doing it. Till it gets to a point where uncomfortable is their life. Uncomfortable is where they want to be. That's the water they want to swim in. What's the next challenge? What else I got to do? So learning to live with discomfort. I'm gonna give you one more that I wrote down. They focus on what they can control and don't worry about what they can't control. They focus on what they can control. Mentally tough people focus on what they can control and don't worry about what they can't control. A lot of people complain about certain things, and the mentally tough person knows, okay, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I can't. Look, let me say it this way. We got two guys running for office now that I really don't worry about what they do and what's about to happen with them because I can't control that. I know people say, well, your voting can. I'm gonna vote. but that's still like, I can't control that. I control what I can control in my house. I can control the actions I do every day. I look, long as I've been living. Let me go back. Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Daddy Bush, Bill Clinton, son Bush, Barack Obama, Trump, Biden. None of them have come to my house and knocked on my door and said, let me do this for you, Tony. So I can't control their activity. I can't control anything they do, because it's always going to be people who complaining. There's always going to be people who grinding. Always going to be people who winning. Don't matter who in office. Once the Super Bowl is over, how Killer Mike says it, he says, y'all worry about the Super Bowl. What about all of the playoff runs going on with your local electors? So I ain't talking about politics, but I'm just giving an example that I can't control any of that. I want to say I can by my one little vote, which I am going to vote, but I can't control that. But I can control when I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and do the talk that I do at 7 o'clock in the morning. I can control me getting on here on Wednesdays. I can control me running the businesses that I have. I can control that. But things I can't control, I can't do nothing about it. Let y'all bicker and run with that. I might throw a little jab every now and then. All right, that's it for the day, folks. It's all she wrote. Pen and the pencil broke. You see at the bottom down there where it says the Wealth Lounge, you can go and join that for free. Free 99, I think. Go check it out. And then you see all the other things that are in there that you can be a part of, from the training on everything from real estate to trading to you name it. It's a lot of other stuff in there that you can. So hold on a second. Let's see. Somebody saying something? Oh, yeah. All right, folks. That's it.